Don, reading Grown Up Digital, it's just like a conversation with you. It's so readable. It's your voice. No surprise.
Well, and that actually the origin of the book was my own kids. I started studying kids as a generation 15 years ago, and I noticed how my own kids could effortlessly use all this technology. At first I thought they were prodigies.
Well, they are. I'm sure they are. But being your voice, you're a very optimistic, positive fellow. And I wonder, I mean, you have such a positive view of the net generation, how empowered they are and studious they are and serious they are and connected they are. But is that supported by the data, or is that just your sunny disposition shining through?
Well, actually, the negative view of youth today is the one that's not supported by data. The view that they're net addicted, glued to the screen, the dumbest generation. We've created a little army of narcissists. They're coddled, they mooch off their parents, they steal intellectual property, they don't give a damn. I conducted a $4 million research project, and I found that this cynical view is basically not supported by data. This is a generation that we can be very optimistic about.
But if you ask these kids if they're smarter or stupider because of the internet, they're not going to say stupider.
Well, that's not that's not how we did it. Are they dumber or smarter? IQ is up year over year for 20 years. University graduates are at an all-time high. Standards like the SAT are at an all-time high. Arguably, this is the smartest generation by far. Now, there is a real problem.
Privacy. Privacy.
Well, that's a big one. These kids are basically giving away their personal information online, and right now there are thousands of young people who are being denied or they're failing the reference check. You know, they're being denied that dream job. And the reference check is someone went on to Facebook and found out that they were drinking underage.
Unbelievable. You know, if you extend that forward, I mean, you can see marketers taking advantage of the openness of this net generation. You can see surveillance agencies. You can see blackmailers getting a hold of this in the future.
Big problem. And every parent watching this right now, you got teenagers, sit down with them, go through the Facebook privacy controls. They're great tools that are available, but kids don't use them.
Yeah. Now, you write about the use of the internet and the social networking sites in the last presidential election, and this book was going to press as the election was occurring, but boy, you nailed it. Is that just another way, though, to create a rock star? Or is there something going on that will actually strengthen democracy?
Well, funny thing about that, when I put the book in the can, John McCain was actually in the lead, and my publisher said, "You're nuts to talk about how Obama's going to win." Because if he doesn't, no one will ever take you seriously. But I was very confident in my data. Basically, he created a social movement based on the internet where 35,000 groups self-organized, and that was an engine that really brought him to power. And now he's using the web and the energy of this new generation not just to get elected, he's using it to change the way we govern.
But is it more than just creating another rock star?
Well, I mean, you can be cynical, but you know, he's inheriting a lot of problems. And for better or for worse, he's engaging the population in new ways. And we've just seen the beginning of that. I'm arguing that he ought to hold a 3-day digital brainstorm. It would be a conversation of every citizen in America. We can now do this on the web. And that's one of a dozen new initiatives that would change the relationship between citizens and their governments. And this generation wants it. They don't want the old, you know, you vote, I rule. Listen up, I'm a politician, you know, and vote for me, and then I'm going to broadcast to you for 4 years. They've grown up interacting and collaborating, and they want to be involved in the body politique.
No, participation is what it's about, and that's what democracy requires.
Well, absolutely. And in fact, civic engagement, oh, they don't give a damn. Civic engagement in the United States is at an all-time high, and civic engagement has become political engagement, ergo the Obama campaign.
Well, these are some of the lessons that you can read from Grown Up Digital by my friend Don Tapscott. I can't wait for Retired Digital. I guess that's the next one coming. Thanks for your time, Don.
My pleasure.